Good morning, everybody, or, well, maybe afternoon. Happy Saturday as usual. I am Coach Ray. Thank you for joining me for today's stick mobility class. So, for today's class, it's going to be a fun one. We're going to do a little bit of cardio, right? Sounds kind of weird, but we're going to do a little bit of cardio in a sense of intervals, and I'll kind of show you that a little later. That's going to take a little while to actually explain and kind of go through. But we are going to be getting into some single leg RDL row variation. We're also going to be working on the core. And so from that core work we are going to get into, we are going to be in a half kneeling position. So I'm not sure if you noticed that here to my left, I have a pad and a bench. The bench is just for something for us to actually push the stick down into an anchor and to generate tension. So, ready to get started? Let's do it, folks. We're going to start off with foot and ankle drills first, since we are going to be getting into some RDL work. We're going to do it on a single foot though. So I have two long sticks with me today. That's what I'm using. And so I'm going to start with my right foot here. Now, the sticks are just going to be at a width that allows us to basically be more comfortable, kind of using it a little bit as a balancing thing. So I'm on my right foot. I'm going to squat down just a little bit, or allow my knee to track forward just a bit. And I'm actually going to have my hands stretched out here. Again, this is just for balance. So from here, keeping my left foot hovered off the floor, I'm going to bring my right heel up, coming up on all 5 toes. And then I'm going to go back down, nice and slow. Excellent. I'm going to bring my heel up again, all 5 toes in contact with the floor. Make sure the level of your torso doesn't change. Back down, nice and slow. Excellent. Come back up. Hold. Back down. Nice and slow. Excellent. Let's go 2 more. Bring your right heel up. Excellent. Down. Nice and slow. Keep it controlled. Up 1 more time. Then back down. And ease off. We're going to switch sides here. So I'll actually kind of go from the side so you can also see that as well. So right foot is hovering, left foot's on the ground here. Remember, the sticks are out just to make sure that we got balance here, we don't fall over. Squat down a little bit, so a little bit of a knee forward position. Bring the heel up. Excellent, then back down. Nice and slow. Heel up. Make sure all 5 toes are in contact with the floor. Back down. Heel up. Excellent. Back down. 2 more. Heel up. Hold. Back down. Nice and slow. Last one. Heel up. Hold. Back down. Nice and slow. And ease off. Excellent. Now we're going to go into pelvic tilts. We're just going to really quickly go through this here. So I'm going to have about roughly a little wider than shoulder width stance here. And I want to make sure that my toes are pointed forward. The sticks are going to be angled in towards me. Okay, at a good angle. Hands are roughly about shoulder height. I want to squat down a little bit. Be in a nice, good, tall stance. Keep the rib cage where it's at. Don't allow it to flare in and out. So keep the ribs down to the hips. Drive those sticks down about 20% tension. And then you're going to tuck your pelvis. So do a posterior tilt. So squeeze your glutes. Abduct the hips, driving the knees out away from one another. Feel those glutes turn on. And then you're going to do a anterior tilt. So you're going to contract those lower back tissues like you're trying to stick your butt out, like a stripper, right? Kind of like that. So tuck your pelvis in, squeeze those glutes. Remember, keep the rib cage stacked over the pelvis. Anterior tilt, keep driving those sticks down, 20% tension. Excellent. Posterior tilt. Squeeze the glutes. Drive those knees apart. Anterior tilt. Excellent. Let's go one more time. Posterior tilt. And anterior tilt. Excellent. Back to center. And relax. Perfect. Now we're going to get into a wide stance. So take your feet out as wide as whatever's comfortable for you. What we're going to do here is we're going to flow back and forth, lunging from side to side, adding in rotation, utilizing the sticks here. So for me, I like to have my feet angled out a bit. Now, where the sticks are going to be, so I'm going to have the right stick on the inside of my left foot, and the left stick on the inside of my right foot here. Now, in terms of your hand position, this might change as we go along here. So I'm going to lunge to my left first. So I'm going to have my left hand about roughly rib cage level, right hand up about face level. And so from here, I'm going to drive off that right leg, lunge to my left, and bring that left stick across, like so. Breathe. I'm going to come up, back to center. Now I'm going to switch my hand positions, and I'm going to do it to the opposite side. Go to the right. Back up. Switch those hand positions again to the left. Make sure you're breathing here. Up. Switch those hand positions to the right. Really make sure you're driving off that left leg. Let's go each side one more time. Switch those hand positions. Go to the left. Excellent. Switch. Now to the right. Back up to center. And ease off. Let's go ahead and wiggle those feet in. Now I'm going to go to a split stance. So I'm going to have my left leg forward, and I'll actually turn to the side here. I'm going to have my left leg forward. And what I want to do is having the right stick in line with my left heel, my left stick in line with the toes of my back foot. So I'm not in a really big split. And so I'm going to shift weight forward on that front leg. And now from here, keeping my right hand right about where my face is, I'm going to have my left hand roughly about where my left shoulder is. I'm going to drive that right stick down, and I'm going to drive my right arm out, and I'm going to open up and rotate to my left, squeezing that right glute. Then I'm going to bring that left stick back. Take a second, go into it again. Drive that right arm forward, reach back with the left. Excellent. Bring it back forward. Come back in. Let's go one more time and switch sides. Reach forward with the right. Open up with the left. Excellent. Back in. Ease off, and let's switch sides. So I'll go my right foot forward here. Remember, we're not creating that big of a split. So left stick in line with the heel of the front foot, hand about face level. Right stick, bottom of the stick, angled in with the toes. Gripping right about shoulder height. Shift that weight forward on that front leg. Drive that left stick down. Open up with the right. Make sure you breathe here. Come back. Let's go two more. Keep driving that left stick down. Reach forward. Try to separate those sticks as much as you can. Back forward. Let's go one more time here, folks. Drive that left hand forward. Open up to your right. Excellent. Come back in and ease off. We're gonna drop one stick, or put one stick down, sorry, not drop it. So now we're gonna focus on movement of the spine. I'm gonna take the stick, I'm gonna put it behind my upper back here. And I'm gonna have it kind of in a low bar squat type of position. So basically it's going along my rear delts, okay, a little bit below my traps here. This just allows me to actually have an arm stretched out position. Now we're first gonna start off with lateral flexion, okay? And then from there we're gonna go rotations, and then we're gonna start going in circles here. So we're gonna go through 3 different movements. So arms are stretched out, feet are roughly about hip to shoulder width apart, toes forward. I wanna keep my glutes tight just to lock my hips in extension. And I'm gonna start by driving that left hand down towards the floor, laterally flexing as much as I can without pain. Gonna come back up to neutral, drive that right hand down. Excellent. Come back up to neutral, drive that left hand down, laterally flex. Good. Back to neutral, drive that right hand down. Let's go one more time here, folks. Drive that left hand down. Try to get it in towards your side. Feel those lateral tissues stretch out. Drive that right hand down. Excellent. Now from here, keeping that same position, keeping the stick as level as you can, we're gonna rotate right to left. So I'm gonna use my right hand as an anchor, and I'm going to push my right hand forward. I don't want my hips to rotate. I want my head to rotate along with my torso. I'm gonna come back to center, and then I'm gonna drive my left hand forward, rotating to the right. So drive your right hip forward as you're rotating towards your right. Excellent. Back to center. Use that right hand to drive into rotating to the left. Back to center. Drive to the right. Excellent. Let's go one more each way. Rotate to the left. Drive that right hand across. Excellent. Rotate to the right. Drive that left hand across. Excellent. Now we're going to go circles. So I'll turn to the side here. So feet, all the stance is still the same. Now what we're doing is we're creating a circle. Now I'm actually not moving my shoulders. I'm actually moving my spine to create those circles here. You want to create as big of a circle as you can. So my hips aren't moving. It's just the spine going through a little bit of extension, a little bit of flexion, and some rotation, all in one movement. Excellent. Breathe. Switch directions. Breathe. Let's go a few more. 3, 2, 1, and ease off. Now I just want to finish off warming up the shoulders with a little bit of dislocates. So I'm going to take the stick, and I'm going to take it a little wider than shoulder width here. You can always change the distance of your hands depending on your shoulder mobility and what's most comfortable, but I want to go with the most challenging position I can get to. So for me, that's going to be slightly wider than shoulder width here. Now my feet are going to be about roughly hip to shoulder width apart. Toes are pointed forward, gripping the ground. Squeezing those glutes, locking those hips into extension. So double overhand grip. I want to pull the stick apart lightly, about 20% tension. And then I'm going to slowly bring the stick up. You want to try to keep your arms, your elbows locked out. Bring it all the way up overhead. Once you get to that overhead position, hold. Now compress and shorten that stick. Bring it back down. Excellent. And ease off. Your speed should be matching mine, so don't go any faster. Let's go again. Pull the stick apart. Let's go 30% tension. Just a little bit of an increase. Bring the stick up overhead. Nice and slow. Hold. Compress. Back down. Breathe. Keep control of that rib cage as we're going through this here. All the way down. Excellent. Ease off. Take a second. Let's go one more. Let's up that tension at 50%. Arm straight. Pull the stick apart. Bring it up nice and slow. Breathe. Keep that rib cage down. Glutes tight. Compress. Back down. Nice and slow. Keep it controlled. And ease off. Excellent. Perfect. Now, let's go ahead and shift into the fun stuff here, folks. So I'm going to actually use this equipment right behind me. So this is going to act as a corner of a wall. You want to use it as a way to drive the sticks into in order to create some stability and something to anchor the sticks into. So we're going to get into the RDL row variation. So we're going to hold that RDL position for quite some time. It's going to be a fun one here. So I'm going to take the second stick, because this is going to be a two-handed or two-stick drill, and I'm going to anchor the sticks behind me here. Now, the objective is to, for one, keep tension, but also make sure we stay as balanced as we possibly can. So I'm going to have both feet together. The sticks are on the outside of my legs. I don't want them pressing against it. I'm going to start on my right foot, or right leg is going to be grounded. So I'm going to grab the ground with that right foot, and I want to hover that left foot off the ground. Now from here, I'm going to hinge. I'm going to drive my left heel back behind me. Get down to a good hinge. Now from this position here, drive the sticks back with about 50% tension. Now I'm going to pull the sticks up towards my rib cage. So pulling up like a row. Keep driving those sticks back. Whoop. Balance is hard here. Then back down. Keep control. Pull the sticks up. Keep driving the sticks back. Back down. Then up. And ease off. Whoa, that first one got me. All right, let's go two more. So hover that left foot. Make sure our right foot is grounded. Hinge, drive that left heel back. Get down to a good position. Drive the sticks behind you. Let's go 70% tension. Pull the sticks up. To that top position, keep driving back. Down. Nice and slow. Let's go one more time. Pull up. Good, hold. Keep those elbows in close to your rib cage. Back down. Stand up. And ease off. Relax, take a second. Let's go one more here. So you should be feeling that entire right side working. The foot, ankle, the glute. Then you'll be working to keeping the core tight. Make sure we stay stable here. Last one, hover that left foot. Drive that left heel back. Drive the sticks back, 70%, push. Keep pushing, row up. Should be feeling that upper back get active here. Down. Excellent. Pull up again. Hold. Back down. Excellent. Back up. And ease off. Now we're going to switch sides. Switch legs. So left foot's going to be down. Arms straight. We're going to hover that left or right leg. Sorry. Make sure you're grabbing the ground with that left foot here. You're going to drive that right heel back. Good. Drive the sticks back 50%. Row up. Hold that top position. Keep driving those sticks back. Back down. Excellent. One more time. Pull up. Back down. Stand up. And ease off. Awesome. We got two more here. Hover that right foot. Hinge. Drive that right heel back. Drive the sticks back 70%. Row up. Remember to keep those elbows in close to the rib cage. Back down. One more time. Up. Keep it slow and controlled. Back down. Back up. And ease off. Let's get one more here. Over that right foot. Drive that right heel back. Hinge. Drive those sticks back 70%. Push. Row up. Hold at the top. Back down. Excellent. Row up. Back down. Stand up. And ease off. Excellent. Now we're going to get into the core drill. So we're really going to work the obliques. So we're going to be in two different positions. We're going to go from the side. We're also going to go from the front here. So we're only going to need one stick for this. So this is where we need a bench or chair, depending on what you got available to you. And I'm going to set up the pad relatively far away from the bench. So my inside leg, that's the leg I want forward. My outside leg, that's the knee I want down. So my back foot, I have it dorsiflex, so I'm driving that big toe down. I want to create as much tension on this outside leg as I possibly can. Now, the stick, end of the stick's going to be on the top of the bench here. Now, what we're trying to go with, I'll actually change angles just a little bit. Now, what we're trying to do is we're trying to create a bow. So, I'm going to have my left hand right about where the sticker is, right hand's at the end, and I want to keep this right hand stretched out. So, block out that elbow if you can. Now, with this left hand right where the sticker is, my objective is to drive my elbow down towards my inside hip. All right, so right hand out, drive that back foot down, squeeze that right glute. Now from here, bow that stick. Gonna laterally flex naturally. Try to pull that elbow in towards the hip and ease off. Now I should be feeling that oblique light up quite a bit. Let's go ahead and rotate that stick. Let's do it again. Right arm stretched out. Drive that back foot down, squeeze the glute, and create that bow. Try to pull that elbow in towards the hip. 3, 2, 1, ease off. Let's go again, rotate the stick. Same thing, arm locked out. Drive the back foot down, squeeze the glute. Try to get that elbow in. Create that bow. 3, 2, 1, ease off. Excellent, let's go ahead and switch sides here. So I'll go completely from the side here. So my right leg is forward, left leg is back, dorsiflexing that back ankle. Left hand is up. And from here, same thing. Drive that back foot down, squeeze the left glute. Create that bow, try to get that right elbow into the hip. 3, 2, 1, ease off. Let's go 2 more, rotate that stick a bit. Arm straight, drive that back foot down, squeeze the glute. Pull that inside elbow in towards the hip. 3, 2, 1, ease off. Excellent, let's go one more time. Rotate that stick a bit. Drive that back foot down, squeeze the glute. Pull that inside hand towards the hip. 3, 2, 1, and ease off. Excellent. Now, we're going to turn forward. So I'm just going to switch legs here. Now the leg or the knee that's down, that's the hand that's actually going to be up. So my right knee is down, I'm going to have my right hand up. And I want to have my palm facing inwards towards my body. So from here, let me adjust a little bit. Sorry about that. So from here, right arm straight, left arm is extended out. Same thing, I'm trying to pull that elbow in towards my hip. So I'm going to laterally flex just a little bit, keeping that right arm straight, and drive the stick down, trying to pull that left elbow in towards the hip. 3, 2, 1, ease off. Come back up, rotate that stick. Let's do that again. Keep that right arm straight, laterally flex to your left a bit. Pull that left elbow in towards that left hip. 3, 2, 1, ease off. Let's go one more time. Rotate the stick a bit. Right arm straight, laterally flex to your left a bit. Pull that elbow in. 3, 2, 1, ease off. Excellent, let's switch sides. So right leg forward, left knee down. Stick is on a bench. All right, left arm is up, locked out, right arm stretched out. Right, laterally flex to your right and pull that right elbow in. 3, 2, 1, ease off. Excellent, let's go 2 more. Arm straight, lateral flex to your right, pull that right elbow in. 3, 2, 1, ease off. Rotate the stick a bit. One last time. Arm straight, laterally flex, pull that right elbow into the right hip. 3, 2, 1, ease off, and relax. Let's take a second. Now, this is what I was talking about with the, with the cardio. So make sure you got quite a bit of room around you so that you don't hit anything. Because we are, in effect, going to be waving this stick back and forth. So, a few weeks ago, or a little while ago, when I did a class, there was one drill where we did this here. We're resisting. We're going to do something a little similar. So for this, I will have to face to the side. Now, I'm gonna grip the stick. So my outside hand is gonna be on the outside here. I want my hands to be roughly about shoulder width here. And I wanna keep those elbows in the best that I can. Now, what we're doing is effectively a push-pull, but we're doing it in a rapid fashion to where the end of the stick is going side to side, right? Like so. So the objective here is you want to try to keep the stick as even as you possibly can as we go through this here. So we're only going to go for 8 seconds at a time. We're going to do 3 rounds per side. So you want to have your feet roughly about shoulder width apart. Make sure you're gripping the ground with your toes. You want to keep those glutes a little tight here so we don't want to be moving at the hips too much. So arms are about 90 degrees. Make sure you got a good grip on the stick. Squat down a little bit. Now we're going to start. So we want to try to get the stick to wave side to side. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Ease off. Good. Simple enough, right? Let's go again. So squat down. Make sure your hands are in a good position. All right, ready? And start. 3, 2, 1. Ease off. Good. Let's go one more time. Elbows in. Squat down. Here. And start that push-pull. 3, 2, 1. Ease off. Excellent. We're going to switch sides now. Now when I say push-pull, it's this. It's almost like you're doing a little bit of a tug of war with somebody. You're trying to fight them going side to side here. Same exact motion. So now we're going to go to this side here. Get in a good stance. Same thing, so it might be a little awkward for some people. So let's do it. Ready? And start. 3, 2, 1. Good. Take a second. All right, let's go again. Elbows at 90 degrees. Squat down a bit and go. 3, 2, 1. Ease off. This is a hard one, folks. All right, last one. Get set up and go. 3, 2, 1. Ease off. And relax for a second. Catch your breath. Now we're going to get into the cool down. We're going to go to some deep fascial stretching here. So since we did get into some core drills, I do want to focus a little bit on spine drills. So we're going to go to a half kneeling position. We're going to need both sticks for this one. And we're going to effectively set this up like a hip flexor stretch. So I have my right knee down, left leg's going to be forward. I want both of the sticks to be out to the side here. So they're not actually in front. They're kind of out to the side. I'm going to wiggle my left foot forward a bit. Now my back foot, I have that ankle extended, so the top of my foot is in the ground here. Now I'm going to reach up as high as I can on the sticks because I'm going to sink into a double hang from a half kneeling position here. All right? So hands up. I want to drive that back foot down. I want to squeeze my right glute, tuck my pelvis, and then I'm going to sink forward into that front hip, getting a bit of a hang. So we're going to get that hip here. Now we're going to rotate side to side. So I'm going to rotate to my left, and then my right. I'm keeping the rotation small because I want to keep it really specific to the T-spine. Rotate to the left. Now right. Left. And right. Back to center. I'm gonna slowly ease off and switch sides here. You can adjust the 6 however you need to make sure you get the best position, as usual. Hands up. Drive that back foot down, squeeze that glute, sink into that front hip, get that hang, rotate to the right, now rotate to the left, rotate to the right. Excellent. Rotate to the left. One more time each way. Right. And left. Good. Back to center. Ease off and relax. So now we're going to get into the slap shot. So I'm going to move the pad to the side. So I'm going to take a wide stance, as wide as whatever's comfortable for you folks, as usual, all right? So I'm going to have my feet out relatively wide, feet angled out a bit, typically what I tend to like to go with. So from here, sticks behind my back and my mid-back here. We're going to first keep your knees soft and then drive those hips back. We're going to get a stretch in the hamstrings. Let's go ahead and hold this position here for a bit. Focus on your breathing. Good, deep breaths. Excellent. Now from this position here, I'm going to rotate the right end of the stick down to my center line in front. Place the end of the stick down. I want to pull the stick apart, about 20% tension. And I'm going to lunge to my right, driving my hips back. Excellent. I'm going to lunge to my left, driving off that right leg. Back to center. Then I'm going to bring the stick back to being level. Now I'm going to rotate the left end of the stick down. Place it. So pull the stick apart. Lunge to your left, driving those hips back. Now lunge to your right. Back to center. Bring the stick back to level. I'm going to wiggle my feet out a little wider. Place that right end of the stick down. Try to get it across your center line if possible. Pull the stick apart. Lunge to your right. Really try to sink in here. Lunge to your left. Breathe. Back to center. Bring the stick back to level. Rotate that left end down. Still pulling apart. Lunge to your right. Excellent. Sorry, lunge to your left. Lunge to your right now. My fault. Got my left and rights mixed up. Back to center. Bring the stick back to being level. Want to stand up, squeeze those glutes, and wiggle those feet in. So now I'm going to go to the floor. I do want to get into the straddle stretch a bit here. So we're going to sit on the floor here. So typically with this, I tend to go with a pro model for myself, just because I feel like I get a much better stretch and I can generate more tension into it. So I want the stick to be right about where the arches of my feet are. I'm going to scooch over just a bit. Now from here, I want to keep my toes pointed up. I don't want my toes or feet to be angled out. I want them up towards the ceiling here. I'm going to grab the middle of the stick. Now from this position, I'm going to use the stick to tension and pull my chest up and to straighten out my back here. So you should be getting a bit of a stretch in those adductors. Breathe. We're gonna ease off that tension. Let's rotate the stick a bit. Try to wiggle your feet out a smidge wider if you can. Keeping those knees locked out as well. Pull the stick back. Chest up. Should be getting a little bit more of a stretch here. Breathe. Excellent. Let's go ahead and ease off. Rotate that stick a bit again. Now we're going to walk our hands side to side. So pulling that stick, get that upright position. I'm going to walk my hands over towards my left. So I'm going to let go of my right hand, place it over my left hand. Left hand comes outside of the right, and then I walk my right hand over again, and I want to pull. So I'm going to get a stretch in that low back, that QL, and that left hamstring. I'm going to slowly walk my hands, one over the other, back to the center. Now I'm going to go to my right. So walk my left hand over, right over, left over. Pull. Really reach with that left. Slowly walk your hands back to center. Ease off. Rotate the stick a bit. Last thing we're going to do, at least for this stretch, I'm going to grab the stick with my palms facing up towards the ceiling. I'm going to pull on the stick to get a nice good upright position. Now I'm going to leverage the stick to bring my chest down towards it. So I'm going to effectively almost curl myself in towards the stick, or my chest in towards the stick. You're going to get a really big increased stretch on the adductors and even the hamstring if you're really, really tight. Make sure you breathe here, folks. It's extremely important. Ease off. Good, and relax. Now, one last thing. We're going to go to a standing position. I just want to finish off with some full-on dislocates. We're going to use this as a way to kind of cool down. So for this one, hands are going to be as wide as whatever's comfortable here. Now my feet are going to be roughly about shoulder width. Toes are going to be pointed forward. Now we want your hands to start off wide because then you can move them in more narrow. Again, it's going to depend on your shoulder mobility here. So I want both palms facing in towards my body. From this position, I want to pull the stick apart lightly, about 10%. And I'm going to bring it up, overhead, and then back behind, all the way until I touch my glutes, and back up, nice and slow, still pulling apart the entire time. Let's go again. We're going to stick up, keep those glutes tight. Come all the way back till you touch your glutes. Back up and over. Excellent. Bring those hands in a smidge. Do the same thing again. Pull apart, about 20%. Stick up overhead. All the way back. Touch the glutes. If you can, bring the stick back up. Keep pulling the stick apart. Excellent. Let's go one more time. Up, over, touch the glutes. Bring it back up. Excellent. And ease off. Perfect. And that, my friends, concludes today's stick mobility class. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. I hope everybody had a good class and wanted to do something, again, a little different. Hope everybody had fun with that cardio drill. That's a tough one. So, happy Saturday. Stay safe out there, and I'll catch you on the next one. Have a good one.